Celtic fans view. It's game day. The team will be out just shortly. The supporters by their thousands are already at Celtic Park, and their thousands waiting. Some are already inside Celtic Park, some are outside in the bars round about, some are watching the players come in, some have just watched the team bus arrive, and some are watching some of the older players that once played for Celtic come out the car park and walk up to Celtic Park to say hello to all the fans. And it'd be a memorable night. And I'm sure Rod Stewart will be there, because he's always there in the Champions League nights, isn't he? Anyway, the current weather is 21 degrees currently at Celtic Park at this exact moment. It's been an absolutely fantastic day by all accounts. 21 degrees and sunny, which is fantastic. And it makes it nice for people travelling and going to the game this evening. But for those that can't make it, well, we're going to be watching it on Celtic television, and let's just hope that Celtic television tonight does not have the same issues that it's had at the weekend, because it was rather unfortunate for everyone that watches it. Anyway, Michelle Shaw was first up. Come on, you boys in green. Let's do this, boys. Mr. Quinn, I got your message on Facebook saying hello. Hail, hail to the boys and girls. Daniel says, come on, you boys in green. Paul McEwen says, 4-0 to Celtic this evening. He's rather confident as Paul after the Celtic youth team. Well, they did what they did. It was 4-0 over the younger version of Slovan Bratislava this afternoon. Yes, the Celtic B-side kicked off their Youth League campaign in style, it has to be said, with young Turley, absolutely on fine form. Daniel Cummins scoring a goal, and I wonder if he's related. Samuel Izigizu. It's not Izagiri, it's Izigizu. Francis Turley and Cummings all scored goals for Celtic this afternoon. Turley is a player that we're all hoping can get some game time in the Celtic main team this season, because he is one player that we want to see progressing in the first team this season. But it's fantastic that it was a solid display from Turley and co this afternoon, and that's why Paul is so confident that the first team can get a result this evening. Anyway, next up was Daniel saying, come on, you boys in green. Paul McEwen's going for 4-0, and the comments are flying in now. Stephen Johnson's back in the house. Even at you, Stephen, glad you got sorted out this morning. And apologies to your carer, who's a female. I said, is it he or is it she? And it's a she. So thank you to your carer for taking care of everything with regards to that this morning. Stuart McAllister says 3-0. Stephen Johnson's still going for 3-2. He said 3-2 last night. He's sticking by it, and he's going 3-2 to Celtic. Mr. Quinn's going for 2-0. Paul McEwen's in the house. Paul Baird's in the house. Hail. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Paul Baird saying hello to Stephen. Kieran Douglas says, hail, back to the Champions League tonight. Need a gap of 3 goals for us to win and build on better. We need to score a minimum of 3 goals tonight, because when you look at the Champions League as it stands, FC Bayern are they're top. They've got a goal difference of 9. Do you know what I mean? So they've got a goal difference of 7, and they're on 3 points. But Aston Villa, who everyone thinks that Celtic can beat in the final game of this Champions League, they're sitting in second place. They're sitting in second place in the Champions League this evening with a 3-0 victory last night. Liverpool, who won 3-1 last night, also in the Champions League. They against AC Milan. They are sitting in third. Then it's Juventus, then Real Madrid, then Sporting Lisbon, then Arsenal, then Atalanta, then Atletico Madrid, then Barcelona, then Leverkusen, then Benfica, then Bologna, then Dortmund, then Brest, then Celtic. even though we've not played any games, but it's just the way that they're sitting in alphabetical order. Let's hope come the end of this evening, we are still sitting within the top 16 of the Champions League with our first 3 points on the board. There are lots of, there's for teams from position 31 down to 36 are sitting on no points, and -1 team, Dynamo Zagreb, are sitting on -7 points, -7 goal difference. So the goal difference is going to come down to it this season in the Champions League. We are just waiting on Celtic putting the first team out. We are just waiting on the confirmation of the first team, and as soon as we get it, there was a video put up earlier on, the players coming out. Karl Mark coming off the bus first, and the sun, blue skies. It looks amazing at Celtic Park this evening. It looks it's better than the weather we've got here, but God, it is actually better than the weather we've got here. And then who is that? They just keep on showing Karl Mark, so it's just the one video of Karl Mark coming off the bus and into the ground. But look at that skyline at Celtic. You looking for me? Hello? You clapping your fingers at it? Oh, Jesus. There's nothing fake on this channel, is there? Anyway, 2 hours to go was 44 minutes ago. And then hashtag Slovan, hashtag UCL, hashtag Celtic FC for Leave Clover. We are just waiting on the team news coming out. Paul Baird's in the house, Stephen Johnson's in the house, Kieran Douglas in the house. He'll back to the Champions League tonight. Gerald Johnson's in the house. He'll brothers and sisters. Carly's in the house. Come on, Celtic, get into them. Maythew's in the house. Good evening. Desmond Donnelly's in the house. Yes, why did it jump? I hate it when the comments do that. It just flies through the comments, and I'm trying to do them all in order. Yes, Baz and the troops. TNT for me, Celtic TV. Let's just hope the TNT is way better than Celtic TV. Scott Brown on the TNT panel tonight. The Bruni is in the building. Yes, Bruni will be loving the fact that he's back at Celtic Park, and let's just hope that we can get some better results. Take a jumper with yous. It's going to be Baltic later, says Desmond Donnelly. Simon Ireland's in the house, even at you, Simon, and Patrick Toner is in the house also. Hail to us all on the way to the game. Great night for football. It's a fantastic night for football, and when the sun finally does go down at Celtic Park and the lights come on, yes, the lights come on at Celtic Park, it will be a case of let's make some noise for the boys as Celtic come out the tunnel and line up. There's the team. Schmeichel, Johnston, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, Arne Engel starts, Rio Hitati starts, Nico Kuhn starts, Dyson Maida, Kyogo starts, all in the starting 11. Paulo Bernardo has been resigned to the bench. Yes, Paulo Bernardo's been resigned to the bench. Sinisalo's on the bench. Trusty's on the bench. Palma, Ida, Valley, Yang, young Luke McCowan, Big Nobrovsky, Rocky's in the building. Rocky's on the bench this evening. That's fantastic news because he's over that injury. We've got Paulo Bernardo, James Forrest, Tony Ralston, and Stephen Welsh this evening is on the bench. What a substitute bench we have at Celtic this evening. Let me just, I'm going to have to, Celtic have changed the size of this. Wait a minute, I'm just going to scroll up a bit. Need to get this all on. It's going to mess at the subs. Just get the main team up. Get the main team up and get it on the screen. But the team is Schmeichel, Johnston, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor. Interesting that Sinisalo has made the bench. Sinisalo has made the bench before the one and only Scott Bain. Scott Bain, who's always been on number 2 when it comes to European football, due to the fact that he is there for the Scottish contingent. He's not on the bench this evening. Sinisalo is on the bench. What does that say for Scott Bain and the future of Scott Bain? Not that a lot of people will be really bothered, to be fair. But it is a game that he would maybe be interested in thinking about starting. Celtic have changed the size of that. The little bisms. Let me just download this. See this, I was watching not JPEG, PNG. Background, download. I was watching an interview with one of a big Manchester United channel this morning, and he was talking about the staff that he has. And that'd be amazing to get to that level. Absolutely amazing to get to that level. Right, let me just get league table, browser. Nope, that's that one. Live sub count. Where is it? Media source. Nope. Image. There we go. And browse. Put that on. And then we will have the team is on the screen. It's Michael Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales. You can see the team there. That's the team finally on the screen. And tell me what you think about the team in the comments section, because I think it is a fantastic team. Arne Engels start, so he should, with the price tag that we paid for him. There's a big weight on his shoulders. I'm going to miss a lot of the comments out. Apologies. James Wheatley's in the house. Stuart McAllister's in the house. Good team news. Desmond Donald says yes. Rocky's back on the bench. Hail Stephen says Michelle. James says, I'm glad you're talking about the weather here in Glasgow. My missus loves it too so much that she just offered me a damn note. I bet she did. Oh, Jesus. But the game starts shortly. Dilemmas, isn't it? Anyway, Desmond Darnell says, McCowan Dino added for the Scottish requirements. Yes, he has been. And I am still taking Luke to score in the second half of the game tonight. So if you're a betting man, put a fiver, put a Jack Diver on the one and only Luke scoring in the second half. It's a team of winners, says Michael Ross. I think that is one of the best. It's great to have a happy, excited bass, says Mr. Quinn. I don't know about you, but troops, I am buzzing more than Murty's phone. More than Murty's phone. Jesus, that's no right. But anyway, the subs bench is just as strong. Sinisalo, Trusty, Palma, Ida, Valley, Yang, young Luke, and Nowrowski. Big Rocky is back in the building. He's never been on the bench this season. Maybe it's because you get a bigger bench in the Champions League, but you've got Paulo Bernardo, Forrest, Ralston and Welsh. Also, that is a strong bench. If we are up against it this evening, and things aren't going our way, but hopefully they will be at any point. Hopefully they will go our way. The sun is shining in the sky at Celtic Park. There's not a cloud in sight, but when there's a silver cloud, there's a silver lining. But we don't need any silver clouds or lining tonight. We just want the sun to go down, the moon to come out, the stars to be above Celtic Park, shining down on us, shining down on Celtic as the Champions League music comes on, and it is all ready to start. And then the lights come on. The lights come on, and it's disco time. Disco Dave, eat your heart out. It's a fantastic team, I have to say. It is the team that we maybe thought that Brendan would start with. It was no change from the weekend. You've got to feel that Paulo Bernardo is going to be thinking, I came here as a first team player. I came here because I knew that there was a chance of one of the players that were here last season leaving Celtic, so I would get into that first team. Will Paulo Bernardo feel aggravated? He's done absolutely nothing wrong. Paulo Bernardo's done nothing wrong. And does he deserve to be on the bench? Does he really deserve to be on the bench? But Arne Engels was bought for the big games. He was bought for the big league. So was Paulo Bernardo. But Rio Hatate's still at the club. And we have Rio Hatate that needs to turn on the style this evening. Can't be a cold Stella, says Ian. Just the 12-man bench. It's like a 12-man bench, isn't it? It is written in the stars. It is. I'm so excited I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control. And I like it. Come on, Celtic. Hail Troops, says Ian. Paul Baird says, hopefully we are going that well. We can make subs for fun, says Paul. Oh, that would be a statement of intent going into this Champions League, because when you look at the table, for the Champions League, if I just find what screen is back on, when you look at the teams that are down the bottom, down at the bottom of the time, and there's a couple of teams that we're actually playing. When you look at it, 36th place. 36th place is Dynamo Zagreb, then Young Boys, then Locus, Lille, then Lille. Get back onto that screen. Then Lille, then Salzburg, RB Salzburg, then AC Milan are in 32nd place in the Champions League as it stands. Stuttgart also, and PSV. PSV are sitting 31st. Celtic need to come out resounding winners this evening. Celtic need to put at least 3 past this team to be up and in and around. Because when you look at the goal difference, when you look at the amount of goals that were scored last night for games, I mean, there is Liverpool are sitting on a goal difference of only 2. So if we can have a goal difference more than 2 by the end of the night, if we score by 3-0, if we win 3-0, we're right up there. In the first week of the Champions League, we're right up there at the top of the league. Oh, what an absolute stutter of a result that would be for Celtic and our fans. Sparta Prague are currently playing. Bologna are currently playing. Shakhtar Donetsk are currently playing. That's 0-0. Shakhtar Spartak are playing. Who are they playing? They're playing Salzburg. They're currently playing Salzburg, and Salzburg are getting beat 2-0. That's why Salzburg are sitting down in 32nd spot. So Sparta Prague are winning 2-0, and they're sitting 6th in the league as it stands. So that gives you the idea of the type of goals, the number of goals that Celtic need to score tonight. It is not about a 1-0 win. A 1-0 win in Europe does not do it for Celtic this season. We need goals galore from the boys in green, and Kyogo needs to get his finger out his arse and score a few, or Adam Ida will be on that pitch, absolutely on the pitch, wanting to do the job in the Champions League. And if it's still sitting with about 70 minutes to go, you've got Paulo Bernardo coming on to make some moves in the middle of that Celtic park, just like he did back in May against the current Burns in the Scottish Cup final, as he did also when we played the Sevco just a few weeks ago. It is all up to Brendan and the boys tonight. Brendan can do absolutely nothing. In particular, say it again. And Brendan can do all Brendan can do once the boys go over the pitch and the whistle starts is change tactics and motivate the guys for the side of the pitch. Kasper Schmeichel, massive game for Kasper Schmeichel this evening. He is the one with the experience of Champions League football, of winning the Premier League in England. You know, he's not the most coveted player, considering we had Joe Hart, who's won, well, let's face it, Schmeichel's done it. He's had 105 caps for his country. So the leadership that will come for Kasper Schmeichel tonight will be second to none, because Callum McGregor is just a pup compared to Kasper Schmeichel. Ali Johnson's been there and done it at an international level. He fits in at this level. This is Ali Johnston's level. This is the level that he expects to be pumping his chest out for Celtic and going, come on, geez it, in his Canadian accent. And then you've got Scales and Carter Vickers. Let's hope there's no mishaps from Scales tonight, because we all know that Scales has that little teeny-weensy mishap in him within the game. And then there's Greg Taylor. As long as Greg Taylor doesn't get pulled in from the left of the side of the pitch into the midfield too much, and they target that area, any team that looks at Celtic this season will know that Greg Taylor gets dragged into the middle of the pitch, and will Slovan Bratislava target that left corner, because they know that Scales will get pulled out of position, and then it's a free-for-all down that side. But they have to get past the midfield of McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Kuhn and Dyson. Dyson's the biggest threat that we have speed-wise going down the side of the pitch. Can he get in? The cross is good enough for the one and only Kyogo to score a goal within the first 3 minutes of the game and send Celtic Park into absolute raptures of emotions. And the wildness will be fantastic. And calm. Kaiser's at a drink along. Kaiser's doing the drink along, because I'll be at the pub. Anyway, Baz well into a 4-0 win. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Ian Roy says, Baz, is there something other than Hun tears? Oh, Jesus, there's nothing else than Hun tears. Evening says Glasgow's green and white. He's going for 4-0 tonight. Kaiser's in the house. Desmond Donald says, right, Baz. How you not got the hoops on? Because I'll be honest, I'm just in from a meal. We went out for a meal. I'm going to get the hoops on before we go to the pub though. So then, I'll get the hoops on then. Stephen, come on Celtic. Kaiser, yes, Kaiser's doing a watch along. So if you jump on to Kaiser, what's the name of the channel again? Celtic World. If you jump on to a Celtic World, you'll get Kaiser, who'll do a drink along. They sit in here a wee bevy when they're watching the game. So jump onto there rather than any Tory channel that does watch alongs. What coffee you on? I'm not on any coffee. I didn't even have a coffee. I had just the 1 pint. I'll be there, Kaiser, already drinking. Ian McKenzie's in the house. Baz, you should do the team talk. It's a Celtic World, Kaiser's channel that he's on. I don't need to do the team talk because we have an absolutely capable manager that will know. He knows how to get this bunch of players. He knows the emotions and he knows the words to pull out and not give them verbal diarrhea. He knows how to just motivate these players. And this is our ground. This is our time. This is our stadium. This is the stars looking down on us tonight. This is our paradise, I'll say, Brendan. Now let's go out there and make it hell for them. Absolutely hell for them. You'll never walk alone, says Glasgow's green and white. The Dublin boys are in the house. Michael Ross said, a drink along is the most bonkers pod ever. The drink along is the most bonkers pod ever. That's why I don't do the watch alongs anymore, because I leave it to like Kaiser and that. It's way easier for them to do it. Anyway, let's look at some of the Celtic headlines that are out this evening. Just see what people are saying. That's not today with Celtic. Brendan names unchanged starting 11 for the Slovan Bratislava game. Brendan names Celtic side to face Slovan Bratislava in the Champions League. Adam Ida on the bench is one headline. That's the fact that Adam Ida is always going to be number 2 to Kyogo. Unfortunately, as it stands just now, unless Kyogo was to be sold for a vast amount of money and Adam Ida was to turn out to be just as prolific as the one and only Kyogo. Desmond Donnelly is on it. Baz, is that you doing the speech for the Goonies? How did you know? Hey, you guys. There's no hun in the house, so they can't go with the hey, you guys. But anyway, there's been 626 people on this live. The team news is up. And it is a fantastically strong team, as we expected. The team is there, just that way, isn't it? Just there. No, it's that way. That way. We are sitting on 18,918 subscribers. We'll soon get to that 19,000. So, with that being said, I think that who will be the watch player for us tonight? It has to be Arne Engels. Arne Engels was brought in for a fantastic £11 million, and it's all going to be all eyes will be on Arne Engels tonight to see how he performs in this top league. Because if he doesn't perform in the first 60 minutes, you can guarantee that he will be punted off the park. He will get taken off the park because there's one and only Paulo Bernardo who knows what Celtic are all about at Champions League level. Paulo Bernardo's been here and done it before. Paulo Bernardo knows exactly what is expected at Champions League level, so he might feel a bit aggrieved about not starting this evening. But he knows it's a team game. Paulo Bernardo knows it's a team game and he knows there will be substitutes in the second half of the game. It all comes down to who will be the first subs. Will it be Bernardo? Will it be Adam Ida? Will it be in the middle of the park? Will Young Luke come on in the second half? I am still taking Luke McCowan to score a goal in the second half. He, for me, is the watch player this season in the Champions League because European teams will not know that much about young Luke, and he is the one that I think might go sneaking under the radar. 60 minutes in, and it's Prague 3, Red Bull Salzburg 0. I was just double check these scores. It's not updated on this. It's just giving the Celtic team information. That's interesting because the Slovaks, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. So in other words, they're playing 5 in the middle of the park. They are looking to stop Celtic in the middle of the park. They know that if they stop Callum McGregor playing, so this is going to be an interesting duel in the game tonight because they've no holding midfield player. They don't seem to have a holding midfield player. They're sitting with 4 defenders at the back, and then they've got 2 defenders sitting in front of the back 4. Will they go to a back 6 if Celtic have got them deeply under pressure? Because that could be something interesting at this level. Or will they go to a flat back 5 in the midfield? Or are they going to keep this sort of diamond shape in the midfield? And then they've got 1 striker up front. They've only been playing with that 1 striker up front. But Celtic are only playing with 1 striker up front also, and then the 2 wingers. Some people say it's a 4-3-3, but it is what it is with Celtic. But it is an interesting formation that the Slovakian side is playing. And I wonder if Brendan Rodgers knew that they play this formation, because if they do, how do you combat that type of situation where you've potentially got 5 sitting along the middle of the park? Okay, you've got Arne Engels coming up, you've got Kuhn. You can say that Celtic can go to a back 5 and 1 up front also. So it'll be interesting to watch the tactical side of the game this evening. That's one bit that I will be sitting watching. Desmond Donald says, chat's brilliant, troops. Martin says, what about Evan Williams? Is it true about Evan Williams? No idea. Paul says 3-0 Celtic, and then the subs come on. Hopefully, over the top and balls down the wing. Carly's nerves are shattered. Desmond Donnelly says he is the same. Gerald Napier says time is coming, boys. Let's get ready to rumble. And Stephen Johnson says hi to Carly. Anyway, it is almost time to rumble, and a lot of people will be jumping off and heading away to the game. A lot of people will already be outside Celtic Park. There is only 55 minutes to go till kick-off, and I'm going to get ready to go to the pub and put my hoop stop on. And I will do a live after the game this evening, win, lose or draw. Hopefully it'll be the right, God. Just give us the win. Just the one win. With the team, Casper Schmeichel, Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales at the back, Taylor also at the back, McGregor, Engels, Hatate in that midfield, and the front 3, Kuhn, Maida and Kyogo. Does Celtic have enough to break down this formation? Will the Slovaks play 5 at the back? I have absolutely no idea. And on that note, I'll let you go and jump off. Even all, let's fucking go, says Jim F. Jim, I'm sorry, I'm about to leave the building because I need to go get ready to go and watch the game myself. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening to all the Celtic fans all around the world, and wherever you are, don't get too drunk watching the game. And if you're at the game, have a fantastic time. If you're at the game, you'll all see this video.